I remember Anna Zalitkovska, which seems like 100 years ago, talking about a different kind of storytelling. And I think really Storyworld for me comes from a kernel of an idea that Anna had about kind of being, I suppose, inclusion, and also about building a community in the department where we would try and replicate a production company where staff and students would work together, but we would also look at brand new forms of storytelling.
I first became interested in transmedia production through a company known as Bellyfeel. They're a small production company in Manchester, and I was looking to research new forms of storytelling. And having met Bellyfeel and watched some of their productions and studied some of their productions, I realised that it could be an idea that might work in a sort of production environment at the university.
Bolton Storyworld is a big transmedia project, and it's the first one that the university have tried to take on, so it's exciting because nobody really knows how it's going to go, and everything's open to interpretation, and anything that can go wrong because it's never gone wrong before, and at the same time anything that can go really, really well is something that we can take forward as the project continues. So for me personally, working on Bolton Storyworld, I was involved in the development and the writing. So to go on as director and then go on as producer for other episodes as well, it's nice because I feel like I've been involved since the very beginning, and I've seen it evolve so much. The very first idea that we planted the seed of is so vastly different to what we're doing now. It's nice to have seen it come along so far and be what it is now. And working as producer, it's prestigious for me because I'm now as high as I can be in the Bolton Storyworld project, and you know, it feels good. It makes me feel like I deserve to be here and I can be proud of myself for it.
I do sort of prefer being the director, however, because even though there's a lot more work involved, I at the same time feel more involved with the project itself because there is more work involved. I feel more involved with the creative process, with everything that's going on, with the actors, with the cast, with the crew, basically with every aspect of the production itself. Whereas with being the script supervisor, I was kind of holed up in the production office with the writers or at home. And it was just very more a solitary job. It was still very enjoyable and I wouldn't hesitate to do it again. But really, if I got the option to be script supervisor or director, I would probably choose being the director.
I've been involved in projects like this before. I was involved as a director on a project called the Alexander Wilson project. That was quite a large transmedia project, worked across lots of different platforms. Quite similar in a way to what's happening with the Bolton Storyworld stuff. I really like transmedia productions. They give you an opportunity to get a huge amount of material, to be very creative, and to use the kind of a very strange analogy. It's like when you butcher a whole pig and you use every single part of the pig. You can get lots of extraneous material on various different platforms to create a huge, interesting world.
It's pretty good actually. It's quite like a big crew compared to what we usually do, so it's like quite a lot of running around, getting people together. A lot of there's been a few last minute things, but you know, it all kind of works out together in the end. I did a call sheet wrong, which meant that Phil, the big industry guy, went an hour in the wrong direction for a shoot, which he wasn't very happy about. Turned up on set today, didn't have a lecturer to play, so Phil had to play him. Didn't have a camera or boom either, which delayed us by about half an hour. So yeah, that's our funny stories, I guess.
My experience on Storyworld has been very good. It's working with some interesting people I haven't worked with before, shooting some interesting stuff. I've never tried anything in the transmedia field before, so quite excited to see the finished product in that respect. But yeah, I'm enjoying shooting it.
My role was basically to provide all of the artwork that you see in episode 3. So the Egyptian, like the Dali-inspired Egyptian, quite spacey, and yeah, that was my job to draw all of those to Holly's specification. She sent me like pretty much what she wanted. I also provided theatre work for the Bolton Storyworld Facebook page, for the page of Lizzie, because she is a theatre student, you know, SFX. So I did some costume designs for various plays, you know, plays that I've read that I had a good visual idea for, you know, what I wanted the characters to look like. So yeah, I drew those. I drew the Egyptian Dali, and yeah, that was my job.
I find acting for camera quite interesting because one of the wonderful things that I got taught when I was at school was that the camera may lie, but it doesn't like being lied to. So I think acting for camera is just a real big challenge, because if you're not quite feeling it, it's so obvious. And I really love it for that reason. I think there's a lot of truth in acting for film and TV, and I've really enjoyed it. The crew have been fantastic, the rest of the cast are amazing as well, and it's just been a really good experience.
Well, I think it's probably the new form of the industry. So it's very now. It's something that broadcasters, filmmakers are grappling with and trying to find out how best to do it. So it puts students right on the same level, if you like, as people in the industry. Students are probably, on the whole, quite technology savvy. So in a way, it allows students to be in a much more important position in the development of something new.
So the big thing that comes to me from Storyworld is innovative writing. Storyworld is something that is being made by students here at the university, but it's very unique, and that there's very few other places where students would have this opportunity to work on this kind of innovative multi-platform storytelling.
One word. Oh, that's hard. I would say
Exciting.
Innovative.
Mystery.
If I had to describe it in one word, I would say I don't know. I haven't a clue.
Hectic.
Futuristic.
Innovative.
Ah, yes, I do have a word. If I had to describe it in one word, I'd say it was participative. That is, people can contribute to it in lots and lots of different ways. One of the delights for me has been that students, tutors and professional companies have all been working at the same level. And it has been an experiment, so you know it hasn't always gone right, which has been very difficult, particularly for students to understand that, you know, sometimes we all get it wrong. But it has made it much more of a level playing field for everybody. So we're all engaged in what is very truly research.